I'll be showing you how to look up an existing supplier that's already been created in RICS through the Manage Supplier screen. From the main menu, click on the Setup tab up at the top and click on Manage Suppliers on the left. This will bring you into the Manage Supplier screen. The cursor will be blinking to the right of the supplier code in the Quick Lookup field. There are different ways to bring up a supplier or look up a supplier. If you know the supplier code, just simply type in that code and press enter, and all of that information will come up on the screen. If you don't know the supplier code, you can look it up either by using the magnifying glass icon to the left of the supplier code, the lookup button to the right, or the View Lookup tool up at the top of the screen. We're going to use the magnifying glass icon, so if we click on that, that's going to bring up our lookup tool in green up at the top. You can look things up by supplier code, supplier name, supplier short name, or you can use a % as a wildcard character in any of those lookup fields. If you're on the supplier code field and you're looking up the supplier by the code, you can type in the first letter of that supplier code, N, and click on the lookup button, and that'll bring up any of those suppliers starting with an N. If you find the correct supplier, you can click on the select, and that'll bring that supplier and all of the information up on the screen. If we click on the View Lookup tool up at the top, that brings our lookup back up on the screen. And if I want to look up a supplier by the supplier name, I can click to the right of supplier name and type in the first couple letters of that supplier and click on the lookup button to the right. That's going to bring up those suppliers that start with A, D. And I can find the correct supplier and select it, and that will come up on the screen. If I click on the View Lookup tool again up at the top, that brings up our lookup. If I wanted to look something up by the supplier short name, I could click to the right of supplier short name, type in the first couple letters. I'm going to type in the first letter using M, click on the lookup button to the right, and if there is only one supplier that starts with an M, that'll automatically bring that supplier up on the screen. So you'll notice there is the select, then you have the supplier code, which is normally either the first 4 letters up to the first 8 letters of the supplier name. Then you have the supplier name, which is the long name of the supplier, and you have the short name, which is the shorter name of that supplier. If you wanted to use the % as a wildcard, we could click on the supplier name, put a %, an N, and if I click on the lookup button, that'll bring up any of these suppliers in the supplier name that have an N anywhere in their name. Whereas before, if we typed in just N at the beginning without the % and clicked on lookup, that would bring up any of the suppliers' names that start with an N. And if you just want to clear it and start your lookup over, you can click on the clear button to the right, and that'll clear your lookup field. And that completes looking up an existing supplier in the Manage Supplier screen.